I want to start off by saying thank you, everybody, honestly. There was barely any spoilers at all in the last review of Mekakucity Actors. Thank you for everybody that listened. I am really happy about that, and you all make me so happy knowing that you truly do not want to spoil me. So everybody, thank you so much. So anyways, let's get into this review. Wow, the theory I guessed about the professor, the father of Ayano, was correct. I guessed it many episodes back and saying most likely he was the one that was killing the different people to give them their powers, and I was kind of correct. The snake was inside of the body of Ayano's father, and at the same time, we see the death of Ayano this episode. Oh my god. Dude. Oh man, that's just the face Kano made when he ran at Ayano and he was like, no! He was like trying to tell her to stop. I mean, the animation on that face, the tension. I felt the tension in that scene. It was a really upsetting scene, it really was. It didn't make me tear and cry, but it definitely was an emotional scene that was upsetting for this series, because Ayano's death's been a big mystery in this entire series, and the main, I guess, plot has been wrapped around Ayano this entire time, and so finally finding out how she died, or technically she's still alive. If we look at it in a perspective, Ayano is alive, if I am correct, because she got sucked into that other world that the monster created, but at the same time, she chose not to come back and keep the serpent inside of her, and in turn, that caused the main evil antagonist serpent to pretty much have to change the plans and have to restart over everything. He had to start over everything and give everybody different powers, I'm guessing reset all the serpents in each individual person's body, which would explain why Ine and Konoha were in different test tubes. Most likely he had to reset the snakes and serpents inside their body and send them to a new body of theirs, and that's why they were in different looking bodies. So I like that a lot. I like how that pretty much was hinted at and explained. Now there's a couple of confusing things in this episode that I really do not understand. For one thing, Ine. She, for some reason, has her body back at the end of this episode. All of a sudden, she has her body back, she's running in the hallways, and that really was not explained. I mean, looking at all the different elements, I mean, I know and understand exactly, where her body was, and I can understand most likely she would want to get in her body, but it was never explained exactly how she got back into her body. So hopefully they will explain that, because next episode will be the final episode of Mekakucity Actors, and it should, if Shaft does it properly, it should tie the knot above this entire series and allow everything to come unfolded. So everything so far, I like the build up in this episode. It was mainly showing more of the antagonist's personality. His personality as an antagonist was really good. I feel like it was portrayed well. I love the voice actor, and I love the way he just acted it out. I mean, he was so sinister, but at the same time, he was a passive sinister, where he wasn't just outright aggressive and trying to kill people, but he was doing it away with manipulation, and I like that a lot about it in a villain. That's something I really enjoy, and so getting to see this serpent just messing with everybody's lives is something that's really entertaining about this series. But one thing though, okay, now we understand Kano's perspective up until this point. As I've said many times in my different reviews, I've said that Kano seems evil, or there's something wrong with him. He has a sinister aurora about him. But we find out why he has that aurora about him, because he witnessed someone he had a crush on or he loved die. He saw someone pretty much die in front of him because he could never reach her. She's supposedly stuck in that world forever, which is very upsetting, because I mean, if you were to see someone you truly loved, a girl you loved, just disappear in front of your eyes, I mean, how would you feel if you know you can never see them again and they were trapped in the world for the rest of their life? I mean, you'd probably be very devastated about that. And so, you can understand Kano's perspective now. Now I understand why he acted the way he did. And so, I feel bad about his character. I really do. Now I see what the troubles and the hardships he's been through as a character. Another thing I want to bring up that was at the ending part of this episode was that Shintaro was talking to Ayano. Now, here's the thing, okay? We clearly haven't seen Shintaro use any of his eye powers, if I'm correct. I don't know exactly what power Shintaro has, but clearly whatever power he has, he's able to speak to Ayano at the end of this episode. We also did see him have scissors he was pointing at his throat, and if I'm correct and I've had all these theories combined into one, the only time you can go into this other world, that serpent world, is on August 15th, and at the same time, you have to be close to death or you have to pretty much die to get to that world. And So, the reason why Shintaro had to pretty much stab his throat, or almost stab his throat, was for the doorway to that other world can open, and he can talk to Ayano. So, whatever it is, it seems like either Shintaro is going to use his eye powers to get Ayano out of there, or he's going to talk to Ayano, or he's going to take the place of Ayano and sling her outside into the real world. Either way, that's what I see going on with there, and I like how this episode does that. It's really cool how they leave it hanging. They really don't explain it, but at the same time, you can pretty much understand what is going on if you put the pieces together, the different scenes we saw in this episode, which I'm fine with. Also, another thing I want to bring up, Momo and Kito's entire combination eye technique of singing and stuff, that was just freaking hilarious. That really was hilarious. The song was beautiful, but at the same time, it's just interesting how everybody's crowding around that building to come find them, and it makes logical sense. It really does. I like that how they had to use that to be able to have the Mekakucity actually find them, and that was entertaining. Oh yes, actually, I do want to talk about something. The animations episode, it was good in parts, and that entire scene when you saw Momo dancing, oof. That was not as bad as the CGI a couple episodes back, but that dancing, that's cringeworthy. It really was. Overall, good episode, a lot of reveals, and a lot of mysteries and questions I have right now. I mean, right now, it could be anything that's going on with Shintaro and Ayano. That could not possibly even be Ayano. It could be something else. Hopefully, they explain how Konoha and Ine got their bodies back. Hopefully, next episode will do that, because it is the final episode. So, everybody, tell me your thoughts about this episode of Mekakucity Actors. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? What was your favorite moments about it? And I love you all so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.